Hello, I'm Rob, and I hope you're ready for a cutting edge tutorial for Cutting Edge Magazine. Alright, so in this tutorial we're going to be going over how you can go from a print to a cut using the Cameo machine and the trace feature that is built into the Silhouette Studio software. Alright, so some of the things that you'll need to follow along with me are an image to print, a printer, the Silhouette Cameo, and their free version of software of their Silhouette Studio design. Okay, so I'm in the Silhouette Studio right now, and the first thing that we need to do is we need to get our image into our workspace area. Now you can do this by going to the File menu, then go to Open. I'm going to go ahead and choose a Halloween house from the ScrappyDoo.com collection. Now I'm going to go ahead and change my paper size to 8.5 by 11. As you can see, as soon as I choose that, my workspace automatically adjusts to my new settings. So with that complete, it's time to adjust the photo size. I'm just going to go ahead and choose the width to be 5 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and lock the aspect ratio, make sure that it is checked before I hit the apply button. Then I'm going to go up to the top here, and I'm going to make sure that the registration marks are present. Now, making sure that you have the registration marks on the workspace area is pretty important because it is these registration marks that the Cameo is going to detect in order to find our image to cut out. Now if you don't want to waste space on your paper, you can always go ahead and adjust these registration marks. For example, sliding the bottom slider here can go ahead and slide that bottom registration mark all the way up to where you're minimizing the waste of paper. So we have the image now on our mat. We have the registration marks. Now that's not enough for the Cameo to detect where the cut lines actually need to be. Now we need to tell Cameo where those cut lines are, and we need to do this by doing a trace. Now to get to the trace menu, you're going to go up there to the top, and it's right up here where it looks like a little yellow frame with a blue butterfly in the center. So we're going to go ahead and click that. Next, in order to conduct the trace, we need to tell the software what to actually trace. So basically, we're going to be clicking this button right here that says Select Trace Area. And then we're going to rubber band the whole image, go ahead and select the image of what we want to trace. And once you do that, you'll notice that some yellow will start appearing on your mat. That's actually what the trace program is picking up as far as trace lines. The next step, we're going to need to tweak some of these settings that you see down below. And the first thing that we need to do is we need to uncheck the high pass filter. We don't need it. That's not what we're looking for. We just want a basic outer edge line of these shapes. And you want to play around with the threshold one. As you can see, you can move it left to right, and the further you move it to the right, the more yellow that you will see, and that's fine. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it like this, where it's just picking up some of the yellow, as you can see around the edges. Right, so once you're satisfied with what the trace program is picking up, you can go ahead and click the outer edge button, and that will just trace the outer edge of the shapes that you see. So everything that's on the inside will be ignored, and you'll have a nice outline trace that your Cameo will cut. So we have the photo on the workspace as well as the cut lines. So I think we're ready to go ahead and print the picture. To do that, we're just going to go up to the print button that you see up here, and we're going to hit OK. Right, next you're going to go ahead and grab your paper and put it on your sticky mat, and you're going to go ahead and load the mat. You're going to want to load the mat the same way that you see it on your computer screen, so that it knows exactly where that first square that it needs to find is located. Alright, so we're going to go back in this software. We're going to go ahead and hit the cut button that you see up here in the top right, and we're going to go ahead and select the paper type that we're going to be cutting our image out of. And for this example, we're going to be using cardstock, and we're going to go ahead and hit the cut button. Now basically the Cameo has an optic sensor that's built in right underneath the blade carrier. Now, I'm not claiming to be a Cameo engineer, nor do I know the exact science behind this. However, I do know that it searches for these black markings on your paper to determine the location of where your shapes are actually located to be cut. And as long as your machine detects those markings, you should be good to go. Now, something to keep in mind is that you want to print your items on a lightly colored paper. This is not a laser, it's an optic sensor, so it needs good lighting and good material to tell that contrast difference between the paper and those black markings. So as you can see, it cut out a nice outline of the pattern, And all you need is a decent traceable pattern and a little bit of time, and you'll have a decent print and cut without getting a single pair of scissors out. So with that, I'm Rob, and I hope you enjoyed this cutting edge tutorial.